This is just a video that I put together of me applying Neverwet to a shoe to see how it actually applied and affected the color and texture and such of it. Um, this is the first coat. They have you apply this in a thin coat and then wait for half an hour to let it dry. Um, it went on fairly well. I did notice that I end up getting these little white pilly bits on the front of the shoe, on the ends of the, like any sort of little fuzzes it picked up. So I thought that was interesting to note. As far as the can goes, I mean, pretty standard spray paint style. It did have a lot of velocity to it, which I found it hard to actually put in a thin coat because it just came out so fast. So I was just trying to keep it a little thinner, try to stay a little further away. I guess may have been better. It was definitely a lot of overspray, so if you were using it, you'd want to make sure to lay out something. Um, then this is the second coat. You really start noticing when you start spraying this coat, the frosted look is actually almost a blue hue, and I wonder if it's not just blue because of the coating, but also because of the nano style texture that it gives to the surface. That's the part that actually lets the water, or keeps the water from penetrating into the substances. Um, I know that there are some butterflies and such that have like nano holes basically going in their wings that give them a blue hue. So I wouldn't be surprised if that something similar to that effect is occurring here. But yeah, just not sure if it was because the shoe was maybe a little warm because it had been sitting in the sun, but this particular coat seemed to dry really quick. I still ended up giving it the full half hour after I applied it so that it could dry. But I mean, you can see it as I spray on. It goes from being quite wet looking to dry very quick. I do wonder, perhaps if I were further away, if the white blue shoe would be less obvious. Kind of like if you turn a air can upside down and spray it, it kind of like some of the propellant comes out, I guess, and can stain things. But I do think I've seen several other people do this, and it seems like this is pretty standard for it. But in the future, I've got lots of things I want to experiment with. This is just the first thing I thought of because on the back of the box they show a picture of a boot, and I was like, oh well, let's see what that actually does. And I have this chunky shoe. This is a good way to compare. This is after half an hour of drying it. You can see what the original shoe is there, and then the one with Neverwet applied. Here's, yeah, just so we get an idea. This is what a normal shoe would do. So beat it up a little bit, but then obviously this one is dramatically different. It's a little harder to tell on camera because of my terrible handling skills. I had sprayed inside, so it was kind of neat to see the little bead just pill up inside there. But yeah, definitely soaked in the water. And this one was, just some water got in there. And found it interesting that it poured out so well. Kind of neat. Here I brought it into the sink. Just wanted to see maybe with a little bit more water than just I could apply to the bottle of water. In force. I mean, it's coming out of the sink pretty fast. You can see it just sprays right out, quite dry. Here's the other shoe. See what it does. And it just soaks right in. A lot different, much easier to tell here than just that bottle of water. It just pours in, instantly soaking it. Here I'm trying to rough up the surface. Maybe I'm thinking maybe my finger oils might mess up the coating. Because it's a nano coating, you kind of think it might be fragile or might rub off easy because they're just tiny little nano spikes. But as far as I could tell, it didn't immediately do anything to prevent it. Kind of looks like it's a little different in that area, but Not obviously so. It remained dry to the touch. One thing I did notice though is water was getting into the shoe. That's what I was trying to play with here. It's like, what is going on? Like, it seems not to be going through this part. It just is pooling up on the surface. Perhaps there's a hole in the toe, but there definitely significant water got into the shoe somehow. So perhaps it's because it is kind of vented that it still is able to penetrate.